Nice, nice, nice. Over here. This can go back. This can go back. Cool, 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 cool. Nice. Hello and welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with Green White Black Maverick, switching it up from the band deck that we were playing for a little while. Just to go back to pretty much what I play in paper. This deck is very close to my paper version of Maverick. A few little changes from the band version. So I wanted to try out Surgical, Faerie Macabre, and Bog instead of Leyline. I found with Leyline we were either keeping some pretty okay hands with Leyline, or we were keeping a really good hand without Leyline and then just drawing them as kind of dead cards, which is pretty tough. It's kind of the feast or famine, as I say, of Leyline of the Void, or of any Leyline in general. So the Black Splash is pretty interesting in Maverick. It gives you access to cards like Plague Engineer, which is really nice for board wipes, Abrupt Decay, which is really nice, it's just uncounterable removal. I think Decay is probably the best answer for Breach right now because it hits both Breach and also Monastery Mentor. Thoughtseize in the board is okay. Some people disagree that Thoughtseize is the card that Maverick really wants, but I definitely don't mind it. I really like it, especially paired with Surgical Extraction against combo decks. So if my opponent's playing like Show and Tell with Intuition, I might be obliged to bring in Surgical along with Thoughtseize, because being able to hit something like Show and Tell and then Surgical is pretty huge, of course. Not the greatest matchup either, so it's always nice to take the wins where we can. I've changed the mana base of Mana Dorks to just 2 birds, 2 Hierarchs, mainly because the birds can also cast, or can also produce black mana, which is pretty huge. The other change we made was we're going to try out Force Vigor in the deck. I think Force Vigor is really good, especially for a deck that likes to tap out. It's nice to also have up some interaction when our opponents might not expect it, which is pretty cool. So Force should be pretty nice. It is morning here. I apologize. Pretty much sticking with the same Green Sun Zenith package. So Questing Beast is our top. We then have some pretty good cards like Tireless Tracker, which I think is probably one of the best 3 drops that Maverick can be playing right now, especially with the amount of card advantage you can actually get off it. I'm still playing Gaddock Teeg in the main deck. Gaddock Teeg is probably a lot less needed in the main deck if your meta is Breach decks, where Dryad Militant is pretty much your hate bear of choice. Teeg is still relevant against decks like Miracles. Being able to stop things like Terminus or Supreme Verdict or even Jace are pretty huge, so I do like keeping it in the deck, but it's definitely not the first Green Sun's target that I go after when I play against a deck like Breach. So Dryad Militant and probably even Collector Ouphe definitely take the cake for where we're wanting to sort of establish our board state against a combo deck like Breach. Scryb Ranger is of course just nutty, especially in this deck, making multiple mana off Mana Dorks, using neither Reliquary more than once, using Mother of Runes more than once, saving our lands. Scryb Ranger really does it all. And it also has Pro Blue, which is really nice, especially that I can block Delver. So there's not too much else that I wanted to go over. Bog's going to be interesting. I've always found Bojuka Bog is a bit of a slow answer against the decks where you want a fast answer. So against Reanimator, Bojuka Bog is either a sorcery speed removal spell for their graveyard, or it's a turn 3 at best off Knight of the Reliquary. So I'm a massive fan of Bojuka Bog in the crop rotation decks, but I'm not a massive fan of it in Maverick. However, because Breach is a pretty slow graveyard deck compared to the rest, I'm pretty happy just to have it in the deck as a way to answer some of these we'll get there. Some of these graveyard decks, which will be pretty interesting. One card I'm not running is Blast Zone, which has been nice in the past. I might actually update this list just quickly. I'll probably just drop a fetch land for this and stick with the 2 plains, 2 forest. I could actually see myself dropping a plains and keeping the extra Verdant. Because right now I think making a 4/4 Knight on turn 2 is pretty appealing, especially against the Bolt decks. So having more ways to actually do that via fetch 1, fetch 2 is pretty good. So I'm going to keep this list. We'll see how this goes. Vraska's in the board, which I really like, especially against the Oko decks. I really like Vraska because she's an Abrupt Decay effect that sticks around, so you don't go down on a card if you're dealing with an Oko. Mainly because they've probably already made some sort of benefit out of it, so you don't really want to trade 1-for-1 with Oko because you're going to be down a card, but at least with Vraska, it sticks around. It can actually provide you some pretty good card advantage if you keep the +2 going. And then we have ultied with Vraska on stream, which has been pretty fun. So we'll see how this goes in a competitive legacy environment. Hopefully pretty well. I think the deck's been performing pretty nicely. Alright. Need that coffee. We gave away an ox on stream a few weeks ago, and I need to track down the owner. So if you're watching, let me know. I'll definitely double check. But yeah, we had a few boost giveaways, and the owner of the ox did not come forth. So I'll have to track them down. Alright. Into game 1, up against Kuramija. I'm gonna close this for now. Just gonna close some of my stuff. Origin can go, Discord can go. This hand's pretty nice. Yeah, this hand's great. The Qasali Pridemage is really nice for any sort of unfair stuff. Same with Thalia. And both aren't too bad against the fair decks. Thalia is probably the worst card in the mirror, but First Strike does sometimes be relevant, so become relevant. So we'll keep this. Ponder. Okay. I want to see what they did. Chose to shuffle. Interesting. So if we draw a Wasteland, I would be pretty happy to Wasteland here. Sometimes you just talk it and it happens. Say it. Why am I saying talk it? Say it. Interesting. Okay. Well, now we have great information, and we can start just going for basics here. So I'm going to use Windswept Heath first. Go for a forest and then play this Noble Hierarch. That's why I really like looking at my opponent's ponders and seeing what they do, because obviously they're trying to find a land. They have found a Bayou here, but a little bit different. Green Suns, interesting. Maybe this is like the Bug Zenith deck. It definitely looks like it. Hex Trigger might be a bit of an issue. Plague Engineer. Okay, well it's not going to be an issue. It's a snake. Alright. Force of Will, okay. Do they have their third land? They must. Interesting. They... Sylvan Library. Library's pretty nice. I think we might go Library then Thalia. Try and draw into a Knight of the Reliquary. Interesting thing here is maybe I want to actually play the Qasali Pridemage to start racing a little bit, because this Hexstring is going to be a 4-turn clock, and at least we might need double Exalted. I guess next turn, even if we draw a Knight, we can still play Knight and Qasali Pridemage, so maybe we just go for Thalia. They are a blue deck, so this will be interesting what happens. I mean, if they had like their own Plague Engineer, that'd be pretty brutal. Astrolabe, okay. And they can still take up Hexdrinker. Pretty nice. Okay, well there's the Knight, which is really nice. And they can't actually counter anything right now because of Thalia, which is cool. So let's go put on top, put on top. Play a land. Definitely want to get this Knight down. Probably even play the Qasali Pridemage and just swing in for 4. Puts us to 10, but I think that's okay. Ponder's great for us because it means that they're probably not attacking with the Hexdrinker here, and they probably don't have the mana for a removal spell like Abrupt Decay. They might have land Fatal Push, which would be really good. Leaving up a Bayou is interesting. Maybe they're leaving up a Bayou so they can Force of Will through Thalia. So maybe I want to upkeep or draw step Wasteland this Bayou to then have sort of full play in my turn. I think the Scooze is relevant, so I'm going to definitely draw the Scooze. It changes the math a little bit. So I'm probably going to draw a card in this turn. So I kind of want to draw the fetch land, so then I can fetch away this forest. So we'll put this on top and then put this on top. So we're going to do it like this. Pump up the Knight. Now we can attack with the Knight. No blocks, interesting. Probably should have fetched there because we're going to fetch anyway. Interesting, it resolves. I wonder if I want to take away this Astrolabe. I don't really, because I'm losing a card. I probably, if anything, want to try to see if I can... I can't even block the Hexdrinker next turn, most likely, because I'll probably just tick it up. Yay, Asban. 100%. Abzan, sorry. So one reason I might want to use the Qasali Pridemage on my turn here on the Astrolabe is so they can't Fatal Push the Knight on their turn if they don't have a way. I guess they can Wasteland me and then turn on Fatal Push. But I think they're in a pretty tough position. I think getting rid of the Astrolabe is pretty good. There might be even a Jace deck, so even if they play a 5th land for turn and play a Jace and bounce the Knight, that's pretty annoying. I guess either way then we get through with Dryad Arbor for 5, so that doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to pass back. I think having the extra body just allows us to also show that we have a go wide strategy that could get there. What's this? Maybe another Green Suns? Green Suns for 3? If it is a Green Suns, I think we definitely just eat probably a Plague Engineer to make it a bigger creature. And then this will most likely resolve. Nothing else I want to do. What are they going to get? Icefang Curdle, okay. That's going to be fine. Because now, if we go and get Dryad Arbor, I'm sure it was lethal without it, but I'm pretty sure here we can just attack with everything. Yeah, swords definitely means we can attack with everything. Put on top, put on top. So what's this? Yeah. Probably didn't even need to swords it, to be fair. So we're playing against sort of a bug Zenith deck. Veil of Summer is interesting. I'm not sure if they're on some sort of hand disruption plan. I might quickly have a look at Goldfish. Bug Zenith. I think Council's Judgment is probably a great card for this matchup. And also Vraska, just because they go long. Vraska's nice because it can deal with Hex Drinker through like an Abrupt Decay kind of way. If they're playing Astrolabe, maybe I want to go after their mana with Force of Will. I could also bring in the Chokes, which don't seem too good. Overkill? Yeah, the Swords was a little bit overkill. I think Dryad Militant can come out. Gaddock Teeg's interesting because it can upset their plan of Green Sun Zenith. It, of course, hits us as well, but maybe I'm happy to go down on like these two on the draw. That's 60. Plague Engineer seems great. Collector Ouphe actually seems really good against them because it also shuts down the their Astrolabes. There's no such thing as overkill. Matt Soul, I'm going to quote you on that. I don't mind Choke. I probably like Choke better on the draw. Sorry, better on the play. Veil's kind of nice because it just means that if we have the mana around, we can get things through counter magic and we can also save things from Oko if need be. But are they better than anything else? You're probably playing Uro, so I definitely want the swords. Bog is interesting, but I don't think it's necessary. I think I'm actually pretty happy just doing a light change for this matchup. And maybe seeing a little bit more of their deck before we make any big decisions. So just adding in the Vraska and Council's Judgment as extra removal seems pretty fantastic. Because I believe a lot of their 3-drops are just... a lot of their threats are 3-drops and under. So Leovold and Uro are probably the top. And then these also deal with Oko, which is really nice. So I'm pretty happy with sending this back. It's just the Teeg that is interesting me. Maybe I'm happy to drop a Teeg and bring in a Choke, just because Choke can do some pretty... On the right board state, it can be very nice. it also doesn't affect us, which is kind of nice. This hand is pretty nice. It plays around Wasteland really well. It kind of relies on the Sylvan Library a little bit. And the issue with a turn 2 library is that a turn 3 Oko means any threat we land that can just elk. So you kind of want to have multiple threats out by that time, but I think I'm happy to keep this and maybe try to... I mean, like a turn 1 Hierarch would be nice, but we could see something like Thoughtseize or him maybe take this Sylvan Library. I don't believe him would be in this deck, but we've definitely seen Thoughtseize in the past. Ooh. Chose not to shuffle, okay. Choke, okay. That's kind of nice. So let's lead off with Verdant. I guess my opponent could have Force of Vigor. Which is pretty nice for Sylvan Library and Choke. Just gonna go for basics here. So I could play the Thalia. They're holding up something like Fatal Push, perhaps. They aren't holding up anything that really deals with Sylvan Library outside of counter magic, so I'm pretty happy just to try to slam the Sylvan Library here. Drown on the lock, okay. Yeah, I guess Drown's a card that I actually got to give a lot more credit to in Legacy. It's not a card that I think of too much, at least when I'm looking at open mana. But Drown is just so good because it deals with spells and also creatures. Green Suns. This is an interesting one. Because we already have 2 threats in play, I don't mind just going for Green Suns for Dryad Arbor and then play Thalia with Wasteland. It means they'll probably use their Wasteland on either our Wasteland or the Dryad Arbor, but I think that's fine right now. Yeah, Green Suns and Thalia seems pretty nice. I think I have to get to the stage where I'm getting 2 creatures out of turn. Interesting. Scrubland's nice. Maybe I want to go track a land. I think that's the biggest payoff. One really nice thing about Tracker against Oko decks is that it's a threat that gets counters. So even if it gets elked, it also just keeps the counters. But it looks like my opponent's just stumbling on mana here, which is pretty rough. It's not what you want to see in these kind of matchups. And Wasteland's pretty nice there. I guess we can play Thalia, and if they counter it with Drown on the Lock, we can play Choke. And if they don't, we can just slam Knight. They kind of Ice and Codal, which is really nice. I'm trying to think of a way that they could get out of this sort of board state if they could Astrolabe's fine. Like, if there was a way there for them to punish me, like, I guess March Casualties isn't really seeing play right now. Toxic Deluge is another one that isn't really seeing play, and it costs another mana. So here we get to go for Cradle, which is kind of nice. I think let's get rid of the forest. Draw a card. Plague's pretty nice. We have 3 floating. Maybe I want to use this for choke. I guess we can draw into Veil of Summer off one of these clues if we brought it in, and that could actually save us. We didn't. Okay, that's fine. I guess that's kind of overkill. Dare to be a donut. I don't think there is a better setup there. I guess we can draw one more. See what we get. Birds. They could have forced it with the Underground Sea. I had the option of going Wasteland and then second main cast the choke, but I think this is fine. I'm just gonna hit this while it's untapped. I guess I should have done that anyway because it also shuts out Force of Vigor. So maybe I should have... Yeah, I think that's pretty sloppy. With the untapped mana, it just can resemble so much through Thalia. So I think it's probably correct there to Wasteland first. Maybe attack and then do second main choke. But unfortunately our opponent got stuck on mana a little bit, so I guess we'll take it. So you play around Deluge? Yeah, that's fair enough. I was trying to think as well, if we did go wide like that, could we just attack them the following turn where Deluge wasn't actually relevant? Where Deluge was pretty much killing them themselves? BTTC. This is an interesting hand. I don't mind it. I just don't like that Nurturing Peatland is a wastelandable source and it's currently our only green source. But I think it's okay. I think, especially on the draw, I'm a little bit more happy to keep it. Jewelers. Put a charge counter on it. Note the mana spent to pay this activation cost. Activated this. Okay. Interesting. I always love a good... Interesting. So I guess Collector Ouphe is going to be our best card to get. So maybe here we just want to go Nurturing Peatland into Noble Hierarch, and then next turn Green Suns. If we get a turn for Collector Ouphe. Bolt. Interesting. What is this deck? Does anyone know what this deck is? I really want to keep this Green Suns around. I don't really want to use this on a... I guess I have to play the Dryad Arbor this turn in case we don't draw a land next turn so we can Green Suns for 2. Yeah, I think we just play Arbor and pass. Unfortunately. Could be Oops No Lands. Another Petal. If they're casting it, I kind of feel like they're going to go off. Maybe they're casting it under Thalia. Okay. Interesting. Definitely no attacks. Alright, let's see if we can Green Suns here. I mean, they could have another Bolt and Skirk Prospector it, but we'll see what happens. Oh, what am I playing against? Jeweled Amulet. This is a card that I've never seen before. So most likely a combo deck, but I'm not sure if it's a combo deck that uses the graveyard. So I think Thoughtseize is still fantastic, and I'm not sure about Surgical, I'm not sure about Veil. Bog is interesting. Yeah, Artifact Hate seems pretty good, so I think this 5 is great. We can probably take out things like Questing Beast. If they are an empty deck, I kind of want to have the Playing Engineers, but I think Tracker might be a bit too slow. Scooze is interesting. Mum I can probably drop down on, and probably the Swords to Plowshares, I assume. At least 3. I mean, we saw Prospector. I'm not sure if Prospector, though, is more a card that you play it and then you just get your 1 mana back straight away as, like, 1 Storm. So maybe there isn't really, ideally, an opportunity for me to actually Green Suns. Swords the Prospector. Surgical's always okay against some combo. Yeah, it definitely seems like a graveyard deck. So maybe the Bog's worth it over something like Blast Zone. Especially because Blast Zone can't come down for 0 without Thespian Stage. So I might just switch those 2 out and play Bog instead. I think this looks fine. I feel like they're on Flashback, Twister, and LED. Yeah, it definitely makes sense. I think, yeah, the Force of Vigors are going to be quite nice in this matchup, hopefully. But hopefully we see, I guess, either win this game, or... See, this is a rough one, because we don't have any turn 1 interaction or free spells, but we do have 2 pretty good cards in... What I would expect would be pretty good cards in this matchup. They mulligan to 6. I'm going to keep this. I think we don't really have the luxury of just throwing away these cards. Rite of Flame, okay. Whew. Pyrostatic Pillar, interesting. Very interesting. Green Suns. Is there a need to Green Suns here for Dryad Arbor? I don't think there is. I think I'm happy just playing a Forest and passing. Eidolon, alright. I guess Eidolon makes me kind of want to play this Thalia because of First Strike. So we take 4. Goblin Lackey, interesting. Okay. I guess Ouphe is really nice because it also hits the Great Furnace. Force is nice. Hopefully it doesn't go back to bite us, because we did have the option there of Force pitch something first. I guess we still have Force Up, which is nice. Skirk Prospector. Maybe here I just want to get rid of this Eidolon and Pyrostatic Pillar. And then next turn we can just play the Knight. If we get rid of the Eidolon in response to the Skirk, it means they can't sack it for a red source. So I think I'm happy with that. I think I'm going Force, cast by exiling a green card, hitting Pillar and Eidolon, exiling the Green Suns. Keeping Wasteland up means we can actually have this Knight as a 4/4, so they can't actually bolt it if they play like another red source or try to sack creatures here. So I think here I'm happy just to attack with Thalia. I don't want them to double block the Collector Ouphe. Interesting deck. It feels like Eidolon is great against them. Ah, sacrifice a Goblin. You were very correct. You were very correct. Apologies. Well, that was an interesting game, because I feel like Eidolon and Pyrostatic Pillar are fantastic against that deck. I didn't really expect to see them in the deck, but... Eidolon is a spirit, yeah, apologies. I thought that Skirk Prospector was sacrifice a creature, get a red mana, not sacrifice a goblin, get a red mana. Which is a great reason why you should read your cards twice, especially in Legacy. Hey, Debinder, welcome. Welcome to everyone. Very cool to have 47 viewers. Let's go straight back into this third game and see how it goes. What deck did we beat in the first match? It was a Bug Zenith deck. It's pretty much like a Bug mid-range deck. But our opponent got stuck on a bit of mana in game 2, and we were able to capitalize on that. Which is always pretty nice. Bug Zenith's pretty sweet. I believe it was Bug Zenith that made top 8 of a recent... I think it was GP Bologna? Hey, Solacius. I wish I could say your name. I apologize. Thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. We do have a follower goal this month for 1,000, so every follower counts. So a huge thank you for that. That was an interesting deck though. I'd love to message them and see what they've been on. You're from Brazil? Very cool. I feel like there's a lot of Brazilians who watch me, which is great. And I feel like there's a really good Legacy community in Brazil. I believe there's a there's a big tournament coming up in Brazil. Something about power, perhaps. Mostly just watch Legacy. I play Modern, Commander, and Standard on and off. Very cool. Yeah, Commander's pretty sweet. I played Commander back in the day. I played Kalia of the Vast. Pretty fun card. Hey, you're on the play against Winged Huskar. Okay. And... This is an interesting one. We have a turn 1 Noble. We don't have another mana source, but we do have Scryb Ranger, which allows us to replay the forest and untap the Noble. But if they have any sort of counter magic or removal for the Noble Hierarch or the Scryb Ranger, this hand is pretty dead, unfortunately. And I don't think this is a hand that I want to risk that with. Especially basic forest. If it was a Savannah, I would be a little bit inclined to keep this, because then even if the Noble Hierarch goes and we don't draw a land, we can still cast the Mum. But I'm not a fan. I'm gonna snip this and put it up on Twitter and see what we have. I'm gonna mulligan this. Chancellor. Wait, did we keep or mulligan? Did we just keep? Did I accidentally press keep? Yep. Interesting. I think we just have to concede here, unfortunately. Because I don't really want to play the forest out to give away what we're on. Our opponent is also at 4 cards. So maybe we can get there. We know 1 is Chancellor. The issue is Chancellor. So I guess we could play the forest and pass. Forest pass, if we draw a land, the Hierarch doesn't get counted. Alright. If our opponent was on 7, or I guess 5 now, it would be a little bit different. Rough. Where are we? Hey, Divine Agree. Thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. If you have a local Legacy scene. Probably having a good think about this. Yeah, it's very true. Maybe it is worth it just to throw away the Hierarch to see if we can draw into another. Because if we're drawing into a land, it's most likely something great. The only issue is if we draw into a Wasteland, then we don't draw into a white source, which is what I need the Noble Hierarch for. But there's definitely a case of cast Noble, Chancellor trigger, untap, hopefully draw a land, and then maybe even cast like a Thalia of a white source. That would be pretty great. Which is pretty high. Yeah, so they showed Chancellor, which is a little bit rough, but... I wonder if our opponent's having connection issues, because they took a while to enter the game, and now they've been on their turn for a little bit. Unless they're just thinking of how to actually win this turn, which would be pretty rough. But yeah, Matt Soul, I like that, I do like that line. Yeah, it's fair. I guess one of the luxuries of MTGO is that I have the clock working against my opponent, but my opponent also has 25 minutes to maybe play enough game actions for 10 minutes, so you definitely have that, you know, extra amount of time to think as well. Also, Mitsol, I really like your line because if turn 1 we play the Noble Hierarch into Chancellor and get it countered, the next turn, if they get the Chancellor on the field, if we draw into a white source, we can even cast the Mum through it. But if they get the Chancellor out this turn, it puts us back a whole nother turn, because it means the Hierarch is going to have to be paid. It's going to have 2 taxes on it, one for the trigger and one for the static ability. Hey, Morphling 401. That's a lot of Morphlings. Thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? I assume this means they played in a big tournament. I feel like these were given away for a pretty big tournament. It does also make, yeah, drawing a mana dork so much better. That's very true. It's always interesting. I feel like sometimes Scryb Ranger makes me keep hands that I shouldn't keep, but... You're from Rhode Island, usually play Delver, been playing Breach last week or so. Yeah, Breach seems pretty sweet. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Is it tomorrow there's that banner restricted announcement? The only thing that I hope doesn't happen, and I'm sure it won't, is that LED. gets hit. A little bit like Mox Opal did. But I think they're probably two different things. And I think that people are aware that, you know, LED was fine within Legacy before Breach came along. Hope they're okay. Because I can't really message them and say, hey, you okay? Yeah, 100%. LED just allows you to play so many decks. One thing that I really like about LED is that once you have your playset of LEDs, the rest of your decks aren't that expensive. So things like Dredge, I guess Bomberman is an outside factor, but like even Storm, other than the jewels, part of Legacy, the cards themselves aren't too expensive. Okay. What do we draw? Okay. Well, I guess it kind of paid off, but... I assume my opponent is holding up Entomb. Ooh, we get Scavenging Ooze. Interesting. Okay. Let's go for Scryb Ranger. Scryb Ranger, untap Noble Hierarch. Yeah, let's go Scryb Ranger. Untap Noble, return this forest. Play forest. Play Scooze. Pass. You'd play Thalia and Ranger over Ooze? Interesting. Oh, another Entomb. Oh, it doesn't matter if they have Exhume because we have two green sources here. We have Noble Hierarch and Forest, which is kind of nice. But yeah, Thalia is definitely an interesting one because they most likely don't play, like, you know, Simian Spirit Guide, so even a Lotus Petal would cost them a mana. I guess the only thing it doesn't play around is like main deck Lake of the Dead? Is that how... Is Lake of the Dead sack 1 swamp? We sadly didn't turn one Noble because there was a Chancellor trigger, which Mitsol still pointed out that there is obviously reason to play it if we do draw into a white source as well. So this is pretty interesting. Let's go with Fairy, Surgical, Bog. Force is interesting because it does hit Animate Dead. I think we'll see what we take out first. Plagues are probably a little bit too slow. Questing Beast a little bit too slow. The Blast Zone can most likely come out for the Bog. Yeah, I guess we would lose if they got 3 creatures in the yard. If they looting and then put another 2 creatures in, because we only had 1 green open and then also we had Noble Hierarch open, so we could deal with 2. But sadly not 3. Dryad Militant is interesting. It stops flashback of Faithless looting. That's really the only card. So we take out these. We definitely take out probably Gaddock Teeg. It only stops Unmask. Collector Ouphe is interesting, but maybe a little bit too slow. Maybe I don't mind Forces, because Animate Dead is a 4 of in the deck. Maybe then I like Forces over Decays, unless they bring in like Rotting Regisaur or some other. I don't mind Council's Judgment because it is an answer to Archetype of Endurance, which might be old tech, but it's a card that I definitely like it, for sure. Yeah, Thoughtseize and Veil are interesting, but I'm not too sure if it's good enough on the draw. I think I might just go down on a land here, probably a Wasteland, and then just submit this. I do like Thoughtseize or Veil on the play, though. This hand is nice because it plays around Chancellor, but it doesn't play around Unmask. But I think because we have a white source, green suns for Dryad Arbor to get ahead, I think this is okay. Interesting, okay. Maybe I will, if there is a game through, I'll definitely try out Thoughtseize. So we'll keep this. Looks like a looting? Okay. Another Swords is okay. I think I'm happy just to Green Suns here. For Dryad Arbor. Off a Savannah. I feel like I don't need to hold up Swords to Plowshares because of the Faerie Macabre. Hey, Bafoo! Thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? Animate Dad. Okay, so this we can definitely deal with. Grizzle and Elish. Noble. I guess here we can go Scryb Ranger. Untap, return this. Play this. Play Thalia. Nice. Whew. Deck's just kind of like smoothing out today, which is kind of nice. Opponent's pretty unfortunate there not to have something like Unmask. Yeah, definitely not an easy game usually. Usually they have the answer for the one piece of interaction you have. But yeah, nice to get the win. Matsol, what are you thinking of Uro lately? How do you find it in Loam decks? And do you think it's like a mainstay one of, or you could play two? Seems like a pretty fun card to play against. Or play with, sorry. Not against. Extremely strong, yeah. You're playing two? Cool. I think two is pretty good. I think you see it as much as you want when you just play two. Kind of like Sylvan Library. Nuke launch. Sadly, I don't think this is a keep. I guess best case is we draw into a land for Birds of Paradise. Worst case is we just don't draw into a land. On the draw, it's interesting, but I think I want to mulligan this. I think it's just a little bit too reliant on the top of my deck. This sounds great. We'll keep this. Yeah, that's very true. I like that a lot. We'll keep this. I think I might just bottom the Scrubland. However, if the Sylvan Library gets taken or gets countered, I kind of want to just make sure I have 3 lands in hand for night. So I might even just drop the Ooze here. I like making sure that I'm going to hit every land drop until hopefully my 4th land drop. Hey, Kirky Rocks, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? Questing Beast. Alright. So I have the option to Swords Noble here, or play around Wasteland and just play Verdant Pass. I think I'm happy to hold Swords for a threat or a mum and allow them to have their mana for now. Yeah, I think I would just play the Verdant and pass. Yeah. Especially if they do something like play Qasali Pridemage or an answer to Sylvan Library. Always nice to see other Maverick players. Skoos. Skoos is probably Wastelandable. Sorry, Skoos is probably swordsworthy. Yeah, interesting he didn't swing either. Maybe he's holding up swords to Plowshares. I assume they're holding up swords to Plowshares. Okay. Hey, almost grown. You'll get there one day. Thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. Okay. I'm just going to get probably a Bayou here. I could get a basic if I wished. We're kind of already just playing into Wasteland anyway. Maybe I want to keep this just for this Verdant, so I'm going to get a basic here. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I love Legacy. Current playing Maverick tonight. Green-white. Very cool. Very cool to hear. Big fan of that. Okay. I mean, this is where Plague Engineer would be really nice. But of course, this Wasteland's most likely going to take care of Savannah. Unless they have... Okay. I think here I'm happy just to pay 8. Unless I want to put this back and go down to 12. 12 is probably a little bit better. And then I think I just want the extra green suns, not the Verdant. So now I can go... I don't mind double forest into Birds of Paradise. I like birds because it gives me a source of black outside of Scrubland. I'm just weary of Questing Beast. Attacking for 6. Oh, don't say it. Don't say it and the boogeyman will come. Okay, green suns for 3. That's fine. That's fine. Tracker's pretty nice. I'll give them that. I wonder if the last card is swords. It's not. Okay. Birds. Okay. Come on, Plague. Come on, Plague. Tracker ourselves. Interesting. Put on top. Yeah. Tracker is pretty good. I wonder if Knight is okay here, or if we actually want the card draw. I wonder if our opponent is playing Palace Jailer. That would be interesting. Because what I could set up is Dryad Arbor and Scryb Ranger for blocks, just to buy some time. I don't think we need Tracker right now. Although it's obviously very interesting, especially with this fetch land in my hand as well. But the Knight would be a 5/5, 6/6 with Windswept Heath. So that they'll need to draw an answer through the clues or draw steps, so they have 3 cards. Questing Beast isn't that great because of Karakas as well. I think I'm happy putting away the Tireless Tracker for now and just going land for turn, Knight, pass. Green Suns for Arbor, interesting. And then keep the fetch land around. Alright, I guess I don't have to keep the fetch land around. Okay. At least we get the shuffle as well, which is really nice. Cracking clues is probably a good sign. It means they haven't drawn into something that can actually remove the Knight straight away. But they're getting pretty close to just being able to trample over it. We're definitely at a Dryad Arbor blocking territory here. Ouphe to stop the clues is a very interesting one as well. The only thing there is that Tracker still... I guess it isn't a bigger creature, it just gets the clues. Interesting that they crack there, because if they swords the Dryad Arbor and then attacked with a huge Knight, a huge Tireless Tracker, I might have been more inclined to just chump with the Knight, unfortunately. Blast Zone. Blast Zone's interesting. I could Blast Zone here and float a white for Mum. Blast Zone does seem very strong. I can float mana, get Cradle, float some mana with Cradle. I definitely want the Mum to stick around. But I also want the Hierarch because I want a creature to block with. Maybe I have to just put on top and pay for this. No swords. Okay, that's nice. Oof. Yuck. I guess it doesn't matter because we can wasteland ourselves and the Jide can't kill the knight. Interesting, they're going for that. Maybe to try to draw into swords to Plowshares? Well, now they can't attack either. Do I want to use knight? I think I want to use knight. Just to get that shuffle as well. Well, there's Cradle, okay. Decay is huge. Let's put Green Suns back. Yeah, I think what I can do here is tap out for Tireless Tracker, and then Green Suns for Collector Ouphe. Put on top, pay for this. I don't think I get the tracker here. I think I just play the Cradle, tap for 2, tap the Forest, and then just decay the Tireless Tracker. I also have the option here of attacking in. Unless they have Questing Beast and a land, then they can attack and also equip Jide. I guess Questing Beast is fine, because we can give pro. Hey, TL, good, thank you. Hope you're well. Alright, let's decay and get in. Ah, pro doesn't work with Questing Beast, that's very true. Well, do I play around Questing Beast or not? I think I do, just to get in. Are you okay? I think I'll play around Questing Beast. Yeah, Beast does beat Mum. I'd love to see, like, Natural Order. That would be pretty good. Thalia's fine. Green Suns for Qasali Pridemage seems pretty good, because then we can deal with the Jide. Yeah, he might not play Questing Beast, that's very true. Interesting. This opens up Karakas on Thalia. Return this before I Green Suns. Yeah. Luckily. So there we can crack a clue, attack with Tireless Tracker, and still have mana open for Qasali Pridemage, which is nice. Could also get Scryb Ranger, that'd be pretty sweet. So what do I like here? I like Council's Judgment, I like Force, I like Vraska, I like taking out 4 Thalia, and Dryad Militant, and Gaddock Teeg. So maybe I don't mind Bog, just to have it. I think Bog's okay, because if my opponent has big knights, then at least I can deal with them. Maybe a Thoughtseize isn't the worst. I definitely don't like these. Dryad Militant's interesting, but I think maybe just a Thoughtseize is fine. Especially if they're on the Stoneforge Mystic plan. If not, being able to Thoughtseize something like Palace Jailer or Gideon if they're playing it is pretty nice. I currently have 2 minutes. I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'll be back in a sec. Alright. Hey, Ramo, very cool to see you. Hopefully, the thesis is going well. Yeah, I think I like this. Let's go with this. This is an interesting hand, and I don't mind it. Turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Noble Hierarch. Yeah, I'm sure you are. Hopefully we'll see you at the Highlander event this weekend. I think the tracker is just going to get out of hand, so I don't mind taking the tracker here. And I feel like Green Suns is better when you know what's coming, so I'm pretty happy just to get the tracker here. Yeah, tracker just does give us a lot of time, which is nice. Wasteland. That's fine. This is interesting. I could Green Suns for another Mana Dork, which I don't mind. Or play the Ouphe. We still know about Green Suns in hand, so unless the other card is either land or Jide, and they draw either land or Jide, Jide's not getting in. So I think I'm happy to take that chance. Am I? I guess if they wasteland me again, we're off green mana, so I think I should actually try to build out some of my mana sources. And probably just get a birds here. It also turns on black, which is nice. Yeah. Yeah, currently 3-0, which is kind of nice. Currently 6-0 in games as well, so hopefully if we get up in this game, we can continue that winning streak, but you never know. Ha! Would be nice. Interesting, is our opponent just... okay. I thought they might Green Suns for 3 there for a Knight, especially seeing it's already a 4-4. But maybe they have other plans. Knight of Autumn, okay. Interesting. Interesting that they played this as just a 4-3. Birds. Could go for Beast here. Could also go for Ouphe and Bird. I don't mind Beast, especially because we're at 15 life. I kind of want to start getting some sort of beatdown plan going. And they don't have Karakas out, which is great. Okay. Ramanap. Ugh. Okay. Ramanap's pretty good. Verdant. That's fine. Vraska would be a good draw. Tracker's pretty nice. I guess the Collector Ouphe makes it a little bit worse, but does mean we probably just chump block next turn with the Collector Ouphe, so we can draw a card. But they probably wasteland us first, so we can't draw before the Ouphe is off the table. Sagata? Something big. Green Suns for 5. Titania. Okay. This is looking a little bit worse. Interesting. Maybe they wasteland us before damage? Nothing. Okay. Green Suns. What can Green Suns get me? Green Suns can get me Ooze? Ooze is pretty good. I could also get my own Knight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I like Knight here. Knight also gives me the line of Bojuka Bog. What they should do is just Wasteland themselves here and then win by going wide. We have no cards in hand, so they can definitely just, yeah, make 2 more 5/3s and then just swing with the team. Interesting. I think you should definitely swing with these. If you do the math, surely you swing with everything and then we just have to block. But we'll see what happens. So they can protect Titania with Knight. Probably like this, and go to 1. Maybe I want to kill a... Because they can definitely Karakas this, so maybe I actually want to deal with a 5/3. Take 10. Yeah, let's see what happens. They do also have 8 minutes on us, which is pretty brutal. I guess... Yeah, I don't think we can do it. Yeah, because they have Wasteland as well. Rough. Alright. Thoughtseize is interesting. I don't really like Collector Ouphe. I think Collector Ouphe can come out, especially seeing they're not on Stoneforge Mystic, so I think the second Thoughtseize is a little bit better. I think this is fine, and we'll see how this plays out. Titania is very good, especially when we don't have an answer. It just kind of goes rampant. Ah, this is rough. I would love to keep this, but we don't have a good green source. This is better. We'll keep this. I think we just bottom the Karakas. We can get that later. And just go Verdant pass. So if they drop a threat here, we can just Abrupt Decay it, untap, Plague Engineer for human. So we probably just want to get Bayou Scrubland. Doesn't run Force of Will. Another Green Suns is going to be fine. I wonder if this means if I actually just want to go after... If they get a Birds... Hopefully they just get another Noble Hierarch. Then we don't have to waste this Abrupt Decay. Sylvan Safekeeper is still a human. Alright. That's fine. I don't believe he runs Force of Will. I believe this is just straight green-white Maverick. Birds. Alright. Scrubland. Probably just get Bayou. It means they can't Wasteland us off one black source. Hey, not at all. There is no such thing as a dumb question because all questions lead to enlightenment. But yeah, so this deck doesn't run blue. So sadly it wouldn't have the amount of blue cards you need to really use Force of Will sufficiently. Interesting. Always cool to see new cards make it into the set. Peatland's pretty nice. I could go after their mana if I wish, but I think I'll just play a Knight here. I don't think playing Engineer on Bird is where I really want to be. Engineer and Birds? Okay. That's very cool. I have a lot of respect for that deck. Swords. All right. So this is free because we get to untap Birds, return Forest, play Forest, Decay Knight. I don't have to Swords Bird here. I could also take them off Birds and Wasteland. That's pretty huge. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just attack for 2. Swords the Bird. Sack this for a Wasteland. Wasteland my opponent. Plague's been really sweet in the main. I really like 2 because then you see it as much as you want. Oh. But it just gives you some nice outs. I always find in the main deck, sometimes Young Pyromancer can be an issue. You can have an issue against things like True Name Nemesis, which doesn't seem too much play right now. It gives you a massive lead in the matchup, which is pretty interesting because I think that Maverick has a really good fair game strategy, so it usually plays really well in the mirror. Or at least against, other fair matches like Death and Taxes. So to have Playing Engineer could be seen as overkill, but I think it's just needed. I think it works pretty well with the deck. So we'll see if we can hopefully get a 5-0 here. That'd be pretty nice. But a 4-1 is pretty good. But yeah, I could definitely see Plague Engineer in the sideboard. But I really like it main. I think I did switch it for a long time with Sanctum Prelate, which was pretty nice. But I think Plague's just a little bit better here. If you go back and watch that game, would playing Scryb turn 2 being good? Scryb would be really nice because then we could save one of our lands from Wasteland. Because I think the way we lost that match is if we play out the Palace Jailer, our opponent then goes waste, swords on maybe Plague Engineer, and then they can follow up with more Mana Dorks. But yeah, Scryb does seem pretty optimal there because they're tapped out. It does mean we can fetch for jewels and be happy that we can return them with Scryb Ranger. So yeah, maybe actually taking a moment there and thinking about Scryb Ranger was a lot better than just passing instead of... I think because I had Tunnel Vision on Abrupt Decay, I didn't think I had another turn 2 play, but Scryb Ranger there would have been pretty perfect. So that's a really good point. Metzol with the insights. It's very cool to have you in chat. But yeah, Scryb's very good. Gotta love that Scryb boy. Or Scryb girl. I'm not sure what Scryb Ranger is. Oof. Forgot about my coffee and it's pretty cold, but oh, it's so good. Really nice. Oh, I love mulling over those decisions. I could talk about that decision for hours. But yeah, to be fair, it seems pretty stupid to just play 2 fetch lands pass and then do nothing with the mana, especially with Scryb Ranger has flash. There's no downside to casting it. I saw that, have you seen Jono Yannick's Bant Depths deck that he's playing right now? It seems pretty sweet, and he's obviously doing very well with the deck. I believe he's... Let's quickly check. Yeah, this is the deck. Let me quickly get up the tweet. It looks really cool. It looks really fun to play as well. I love that Uro's in the list, and I don't think it plays Loam. It doesn't play Loam, but it still looks really cool. He's also playing Dryad of the Island Grove, which looks like a pretty fun card to play around with. On the play, which is nice. This is an interesting hand because it's okay against the fair decks. We have a turn 1 Dryad Arbor into a turn 2 Knight with double swords, but it's pretty dead against something like Breach, where we want that Green Suns for something like Dryad Arbor. I'm going to keep this. I think turn 2 Knight's pretty good. And then the double swords might be okay, hopefully. But it's tough. It's tough in the blind as well. I think just because we have a turn 2 Knight, that's the big appeal. Yeah, exactly. It has a nice plan. It has some interaction with swords. Volcanic. Ponder. Okay, this could be a Delver deck. So now the big thought is, am I happy running Knight of the Reliquary into a Daze? Or am I happy running Knight of the Reliquary into a Bolt? So the big thing is, do we draw a fetch land? We don't, but we do draw a Tireless Tracker. I wonder if Tracker is just a little bit better next turn because we have the land drop, most likely. I think we just jam Knight here because the upside of next turn being able to play Tireless Tracker and then get multiple triggers is just too big. Days. Pitching Days, okay. Interesting that they pitch Days. That makes me think that they have a 2-drop that they really want to play, like an Arcanist. Which is pretty nice for us because we have the swords. Pyromancer, okay. No Gataxian Probe? What is this? Dryad Militant. Okay, well Dryad Militant's kind of cool as well. Because we get to play swords and Dryad Militant around. So let's go for Dryad Militant. Swords Pyro. Hey, Goblin Lucky 1. Welcome to the stream. Bookish Matt, very cool to see you in chat as well. Currently playing for the 5-0, which is kind of nice. They're going to daze this, which is interesting. I think I'm happy to pay that and not actually try to swords in response again. Because if they have double daze, it just does the same kind of thing. They also pitched a daze to the Force. So they had triple daze. Nuts. And they also have 5 cards? I guess they have 2 lands. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Guess we're taking 2 here. Decay's pretty nice. So am I happy to play Tracker around, not around days, play a land, get the Tracker trigger, and then try to swords the Young Pyro? You like Tracker and Swords to Plowshares? I don't mind Tracker and Swords to Plowshares. I don't think I'll play around days either. They've already played 3 dazes, so surely. I guess you never know, but... I guess it doesn't play around Spell Pierce either. But luckily we get there. Should have attacked. I'm definitely not blocking with the Dryad Militant, so... That's a bit of a misplay. Yeah, if he has the 4th bolt, sorry, daze, he just has it. They just have it. Bolt on Tracker here would be pretty good. Maybe they don't have it. No attacks. Okay, well that's pretty nice for us. Wasteland's pretty nice as well, just because it's a Tracker trigger. Probably happy to attack here with the Tracker and keep everything else back. Borrower. Interesting. That's fine. True Name would be a beating. I think these decks usually play a mixture of maybe 2 Borrower, 2 True Name, or maybe even 1 True Name. So having those main deck Plague Engineers really help. It's really nice just to have a land ready for Tracker as well. So it looks like they're just wanting to get this Brazen Borrower into play. Blast Zone. Doesn't do a whole lot on this board. But definitely nice to have. Definitely taking out this Volk. Then this is interesting. To be fair, maybe the Wasteland there was incorrect. Maybe it was better to make Tireless Tracker an X4 so it can't be bolted, and then also have Abrupt Decay for Brazen Borrower. I think that's a lot better. Hey, Dreadnought, very cool to see you. Very cool to see your run with Bant Depths right now. It's looking really nice. This can only block creatures with flyers. Okay. Attack with Tireless Tracker. No blocks. I'm going to crack a clue. Hopefully draw into like a mana dork. That'd be kind of nice to use our mana effectively. Plains. I don't mind just passing with Abrupt Decay up. I would love to get that 5-0. That'd be really nice. Been some pretty good games. Brainstorm is fine. Dryad Militant's actually quite nice if they're playing the new Ox. This guy. But I don't think so. I think this might just be a more straightforward kind of blue-red Delver deck. I guess Dryad Militant is pretty nice against Dreadhorde Arcanist, so it's definitely not doing nothing. Here's another thing that I want to think about. If we are Abrupt Decaying this Brazen Borrower, they can bolt the tracker in response, but if we untap, we can hold up a clue and also Abrupt Decay, so maybe we're actually happy taking this damage here. Yeah, I think we just take the damage here. I think opening up Tireless Tracker to bolt is just probably a pretty bad sign for us. So we're just going to take this. Thalia. Definitely play a land. This makes me think they don't have bolt, or they still could. So here I can play Thalia, and then if they want to bolt this, we then have 2 clues to crack anyway. It's a pretty tough spot for my opponent. And if they don't bolt this, then we get to hold up Abrupt Decay and Karakas. Interesting. It's not often you get to be patient against Blue Red Delver, so it's a nice feeling. I think here I'm happy to go down to 11 and just hold up double clue. True Name would be pretty good. Okay. So now we really need to draw into Plague Engineer. Or we can Blast Zone for 2. So let's crack a clue. Windswept Heath. Verdant. Draw. Peatland. Or draw QB, that's very true. So we do have the option of also just playing the Nurturing Peatland here and getting 2 draws off it, or playing the Blast Zone. I feel like Peatland is fine. Knight's pretty good. Crack once more, see if we can find Plague Engineer. Hiya! Haha, Scavenging Ooze, okay. Well, let's go with Knight. They can't counter it, which is really nice. I mean, it's getting pretty close to just... Maybe I should have kept up Decay for the Brazen Burrower? I guess we have the Screws to buy a little bit of time. I'd be pretty scared to see a double attack here. Because True Name and Bolt is definitely an option. We haven't seen any bolts yet, so... Dreadhoard's fine. It definitely is scary. Thalia. Not really what we want to see. Screws is okay, because we can do some tricks with that. I think we just want the double draw. I'm gonna fetch now to get a land out of the yard, out of the deck. Sorry. Go get a Bayou. I think we get Cradle and start drawing cards and playing Scoos. Six mana. Crack a clue. Hierarch. Crack a clue. Mum. Clue with this. Collector Ouphe. Definitely eat our knight. And then I might just keep this mana open for now. So now we can hold up Decay and also a Screws activation, which is pretty nice. Hey, Zach and Abby. Very cool to see you. Going pretty well. Thank you. This is a pretty big win, just the attack with this. This Abrupt Decay is pretty much a time walk. Now they have to bolt the Ooze if they don't want us to actually... Okay. How do they tap their mana here? Like this. Preordain. Okay, so in response, I'm definitely eating Brazen Burrower. Ooh. How is San Fran? How's the Bay Area legacy scene going? Alright, what do we draw? Decay. Decay is interesting. Pretty happy to play a Verdant. Crack a clue. Probably wanted to use my green sun, my Gaia's Cradle there. Let's play Mom. That is one big Tireless Tracker. Yeah, I like that idea of playing second Thalia as well. That's actually quite good play. They're gonna counter this. Interesting. Okay. Which is nice because it just adds another thing for Scoos to eat. Let's go for Cradle. Crack a clue. Green Suns. Okay, there it is. 4, 5. We need 6 mana. Questing Beast. Attack with these, I think, is the correct play. They're just going to concede. Okay. Lucky. It's an interesting one. I guess they could have... I guess the only way out was another land and double bolt True Name. But then we have Scoos as well, so... Pretty tough for them. What do we like? What do we like? We definitely like Choke. Council's Judgment is pretty nice. Veil's interesting, but I don't think we need it. I think we can take out Gaddock Teeg, Pridemage, and Collector Ouphe. I think this is fine. This is a pretty good setup. Questing Beast is really nice against the True Name and also the Young Pyromancers. Thalia's are great, Mums are great, Swords are great. Thoughtseize is interesting, but I don't think we can do it. Vraska, I think, is sadly a little bit too slow. Especially on the draw. But it would be... I think against maybe like Bug Delver, I'd be more happy to bring it in. But against the red decks, it's a little bit... Vraska on the play seems pretty nice. So I think we might just make these 3 changes and see how this goes. Yeah, TNN's a little bit, ugh. This hand is sweet. This hand is really nice. We'll keep this. Scryb Ranger is a great answer to Delver. So is Abrupt Decay. We have mana for days, which is nice. Verdant. Okay, I'm just going to go for Green Suns for Dryad Arbor here. Off a basic. To build up my mana. If it takes a bolt, it's not that bad because the bolt is then not going at the Scryb Ranger, which is kind of nice. Okay. Probably just playing Verdant here so we can get Bayou and then hold up either Abrupt Decay or Scryb Ranger. I think here I'm happy just to throw the Scryb Ranger out there. Gonna get a Bayou. And play Scryb. I think because I'd rather get the Scryb Ranger days than night, I'm okay with seeing what they do in their end step. Especially because we have the Decay for their first non-TNN threat. Judgment. I think here I'm actually happy waiting a turn on the night and not playing into days. Because then we can hold up Abrupt Decay and we can also save anything with Scryb Ranger. I think just because they haven't played a threat yet, I'm happy to wait the extra turn to make sure that the night can be played through a days. Always assuming multiple dazes, yeah. That's that's the tricky part. Fetch. Brainstorm's fine. It's also nice to have the Council's Judgment in hand. It's only a 1-of in the deck, so having it here for Trina Nemesis is pretty nice. We do have the two Plague Engineers, which are also pretty good, but see how that goes. If they fetch here, it's most likely bolting on the Scryb Ranger in their turn to then untap and have 3 mana. No Bojuka Bog? Boseiju, sorry, yeah. Boseiju would be pretty funny to have in a deck like this. If you ran like 4 Thalias, 4 Vryn Wingmares. Double... Interesting, double island. I guess it makes choke a whole lot better. I'm not going to fetch in my end step either. I'm happy if we draw into maybe like a Tireless Tracker. I still think Knight's the better play, but even something like Sylvan Library would be nice to have the fetch up as well. I don't want to be too aggressive with it against this deck, so having the ability to actually shuffle things away could be pretty nice. Green Suns. I think here it's just go for Knight. One thing maybe I should have done is fetch first, because if they daze this and then fetch, we can then fetch in response. Or they can then attack in they can double daze in response to the fetch. Yeah, interesting to see Narset in the deck. Maybe if they think we're on Sylvan Library and Sylvan Library has that big of a deal, maybe they think Narset is okay to leave in. Wasteland. We're not running Hex Drinker. It would be nice. I just couldn't find a spot for it. Dreadhoard's going to be okay. Another Knight. Another Knight is really nice because it means we can actually hold up Abrupt Decay as well. Could also see them having Brazen Borrower open. Maybe that's why they let the Knight resolve? Okay, no. So here I'm pretty happy to get rid of this Dread Horde. Could definitely wait for combat. I'm just so used to missing some things on MTGO that I don't want to miss the trigger. But yeah, Matt Sol, that's a great point. So what we could have done is actually just use Scryb Ranger's ability to replay some of the lands we already have and keep the Nurturing Peatland in hand from being hit by something like Wasteland. Okay. So now we can actually go for Plague Engineer and Questing Beast, which is pretty fun. So how do we want to do this? Let's go like this. I think we name Rogue. I think the so now we can go sack the Scrub. Go and get Cradle. Untap Knight, return the Forest. Play the Forest. Tap this for 3. Green Suns. Hey, there we go. Very nice. Very nice. We can untap the Knight and attack, and we can also go and get Questing Beast, which is cool. Very cool to get the 5-0. Very nice. That was sweet. I think we only dropped a game. Let's quickly get this up. Nice. Yeah, we dropped a game in the mirror. I don't know how to play the mirror. Ah, very cool. A huge thank you. A huge thank you to chat. That was very cool. That was very nice. Very nice. Awesome. Always cool to get the 5-0. What were the matches? So I believe we played against Bug Zenith. BTC was on a weird combo deck with a lot of... I'm crying. BTC was on a combo deck. Winged Huskar was on Reanimator, black-red. Nuke Launch was on Green-White Maverick. And that last one was, of course, Blue-Red Dollar. So that's pretty sweet. Pretty cool. I think the deck was pretty nice. I think there's a bit of room to work with in the sideboard. But a lot of it I liked. I think we could probably do with maybe... Path to Exile is always a nice card to play around with because it is that turn 1 interaction. But, I mean, the one Council's Judgment was really nice when we needed it, which is always good. Yeah, Black Splash has always been my favorite. Playing Punishing as well was pretty cool. That was always pretty fun. You get a lot of options, and I think right now, Punishing Maverick has the best answer to Oko in Red Elemental Blast or Dark Blast. Haha! There you go, man. But yeah, the deck was pretty sweet. Deck was a lot of fun to play. Our mana worked out really nicely, which is good. The double birds and double Hierarch was really good. To be fair, Gaddock Teeg was just a card we didn't really need in the main deck, so... I think the big thing that I'd change in the board is probably just playing around with the graveyard hate. So Leyline seems pretty good, but we've been having some pretty big troubles with Leyline on stream. Either by keeping just a really good hand that doesn't have Leyline in it and then drawing those dead Leylines, or just Leyline not really doing a whole lot. That's always pretty tough. Yeah, Leyline is definitely Feast or Famine. It's great turn 0, but there are definitely, I think there's players as well who might keep a Leyline hand where the actual Leyline doesn't do a whole lot else, which can definitely get you caught up in things. The Force of Vigors were really nice just to have in the deck. I think Force of Vigors are a great card. Even though it is sometimes a 2-for-1, the ability for it to be a 2-for-2 is just so good. And the ability for Maverick to tap out and then also have up something like Force is just pretty insane. Yeah, it's very true. Hey, Jesus, welcome to the stream. Apologies, a little bit ended. But yeah, I think when, because Leyline is just so good, a lot of the decks, as Goblin Lackey once said, are just ready for it. So having your Leylines bounced is pretty brutal. Or something like Serenity or Wear Tear. You definitely can't rely on Leyline. And I think Maverick actually has an okay to like medium matchup against Breach because, you know, we have Thalia, we have Scavenging Ooze, Collector Ouphe, Dryad Militant. We then have like Thoughtseize or Force. We definitely have a lot of ways to interact with it. So sadly, you missed the 5-0, which was yeah, pretty sweet to get. Yeah, Pridemage as well. Pridemage is pretty nice, especially in response to like their first spell with Breach. Decay as well. I think Decay is probably the best answer for Breach right now because it answers both Breach and also Monastery Mentor, which is really nice. But that is me. I'm going to send you guys over to the Legacy Pit. A huge thank you to everyone who followed. We do have a goal of 1,000 by the end of March, so every single follower helps. If you want to find any of my videos, you can find them uploaded to my YouTube at youtube.com/c/Dukes on Twitch. And then you can also find me on Twitter, if you're on Twitter, at twitter/Dukes on Twitch. Dukes on Twitch. But a huge thank you. I hope you're all having a great weekend. I hope you stay safe. If you have any tournaments coming up, best of luck. Play hard, play fair. Big shout out to Matt Sol for being there the whole way. That was very cool to have. So thank you very much. Goblin, of course. Lucky, thank you for dropping in. Yeah, let's send you over to the Legacy Pit and see how that goes. But thank you very much. I'll be back on Wednesday night for a league. Sadly, not right now. I do have plans this afternoon, but thank you guys very much. Let's go find that Legacy Pit. Channel. How do we get there? Channel. Create a dashboard. There we go. Alright, that is the stream. Thanks, guys.